This is Barry, and watching Barry and the PI. I'm returned to the waterfall today. They were out here yesterday cleaning up around here, and they trimmed up the cacahuate tree next to me, and it's looking good out here. So today I want to talk about is, are the Philippines underdeveloped nation, or is it a developing nation now? Uh, to get into that a little bit, I got to give you a little bit of Philippine history. Uh, Before the war, that's World War II, the Philippines was known as Manila was known as the pearl of the Orient. Things were booming. People have made good livings there. A lot of money coming in to rebuild after the war. Uh, but the rest of the Philippines wasn't doing so well. Uh, so people from the provinces started moving to Manila because they didn't have any jobs out in the provinces. And there were no places for them to live, so they just took over every vacant spot they could find in Manila. Well, they didn't ask permission from the owners of that property, and owners of the property wanted to kick them out. Well, some enterprising but unscrupulous landowners didn't like this, and they wanted them moved off their property. Well, some of the politicians in Manila, they saw opportunity for votes. So they passed a law saying that these informal settlers, that's what they're called, they are not, owners are not allowed to remove them from their property by law. And so these people, they just built their houses out of cardboard or what plywood they could scrounge up, and built their houses there in the very poor areas. And many of them are still very poor areas, poorest areas in Manila, in Tondo and Payedas, I think, and Smoky Mountain, where all the garbage collected in Manila, they dumped all the garbage in this area. And people moved on to the garbage, and they would go around and try to pick out what they could salvage and maybe sell. And these politicians would go in, and they at their rallies, and they would distribute, rice and sardines and vegetables and stuff to the people. And they also made sure that everyone in the area was registered to vote. And so they kept getting reelected, because everybody would go, oh, you got us rice and food, sometimes money, to these poor people. So that's why Manila is so crowded. There's no real accurate estimate of how many people are living in Manila. I think they officially say 18 million, but it's more like 26 million people live there now. And you see them, they work and try to get up enough money to feed their families. And you can go and visit those areas. There's several vloggers that specialize in that, take you through these very poor areas. But you do see the humanity of the people there. Uh, they may be poor, but they try to make the best of their situation. Also, those areas are big suppliers for the KTVs and bars around Manila too. Uh, but they always hold rallies. Every election they're holding rallies in these areas to get up there and vote. So a big problem after that, after World War II, is that the birth rate was very high. It's one of the highest in the world. And that's why you see families with 10, 15, even 20 kids. And they're just unable to escape that huge poverty. So that brings us to now. President Marcos and the legislature seem to be doing a lot of good stuff. They recently passed a law that allows foreign companies to come and invest in the Philippines. They also signed agreements with the U.S. military for the U.S. military to come back into the Philippines. And so you'll see a lot more American soldiers on the streets of Angeles and Olongapo and Manila. So these things are leading to kind of a boost to the economy of the Philippines. Things are moving forward. You're seeing more freeways built, more provincial roads are being built. Here, especially the Tagaytay area, we're building some 2 bypass roads, and we're putting a overpass over the bottleneck in traffic at Mendez Crossing. So things are moving slowly forward. And I look forward to the future of the Philippines. I think it's going to have a fairly well-educated people here, and there's more hope for them too, to be able to get engineering jobs and stuff. And some of those pay very well, very good money. One is my son-in-law. He worked for the transportation department when we moved here, and he has since gone into building houses with a builder in one of the small towns here, and he does very well. He's opened up about 5 businesses in Alfonso also, and he employs his old friends from high school and people that he's met since he's been married to our daughter. So they're doing very well. And I see that in many cases. His sister is an accountant in Makati, and she and her friends go fly off to Thailand for a few days, Hong Kong. So I think it could be assumed that this is a developing country now. So things develop a little slow, but it's picking up. And I think that bodes well for the future of the Philippines. Sure, it has problems. A lot of times they have run into problems with getting the right of way to build these roads and stuff, but they're building a lot of them. Now it's much easier to go through Manila on to up to Angeles in northern Luzon. So there's hope, a lot of hope here in the Philippines, and let's hope it keeps going. The agreements that they've signed with the U.S., it's going to help business here a lot. And they still really need to get control on this high birth rate. That's a big problem. That's mostly because of the Catholic Church doesn't want contraceptives available, doesn't want any kind of abortion-related activities going on. So, but things are looking up. I'm happy about the growth and the development, and makes living here even better. Now if we can just get those roads and that traffic fixed, that's probably my biggest thing is the traffic here. You see, it's a bright sunny day after all these days of cloudy and windy, and but now it's a beautiful day here. Only about 82, I think, today for a high, and that's what from Alfonso, and we're at least a degree or two cooler than Alfonso. So I can enjoy sitting out here listening to that waterfall, and I can drift off to sleep pretty easy. Some of you may be doing that now. But, I hope you listened and watched my video, all of it. I don't know, y'all tell me, they run commercials on my channel? I don't know. I never get to see one of mine, very seldom. So I don't know if they're doing it. They need to start giving me some money though. I gotta create a membership and all of that stuff. So I may do that. Still thinking about it. I'm not monetized. I don't get paid for doing this. I do it because I like to. I like to tell my stories about my long life, crazy things that I've done, and got in a little trouble occasionally. But not in the U.S., not in the Philippines, Mexico now. And a lot of stuff I did down there. Oh well. Anyway, I've rambled on enough there. Yes, the Philippines is a developing nation now. And if they ever get the population control going, it'll be even better. So y'all take care. Have a great day. Take care of your family, your kids, and your pets. Don't forget them. Here, Butter's sitting here waiting for me to pet him, wanting me to pet him. Been here ever since I started this thing. All right. Adios, amigos, amigas. We'll see you again tomorrow.